Okay. Alright, so you guys get to see EFT and quantum EFT in action. Take my glasses off. Okay. Do you want your glasses on or off?
Oh, I don't know. Usually I'm writing, so but I guess I don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alright.
Okay. So if we start tapping, now we just listened to some channelings and you experience some emotion around feeling like you're pursuing a spiritual path and then feeling like you're ending up in a box, yeah? Where's that emotion and feeling coming up? I can't speak, even though I can't speak.
I'm a shrunken head with the, you know what I'm saying?
Your lips are sewn up. Even though I can see my lips are sewn up, and I know this comes from a past life, and I feel all the emotion of it, I accept myself deeply and completely. Even though I can see myself as a shrunken head with my mouth sewn up, and it brings up all this emotion, I accept myself deeply and completely. Even though I have all this emotion, my mouth was sewn up when I was on a spiritual journey in another lifetime. I thank my DNA and my Akash for showing me this so I can step through it. All this emotion. My mouth was sewn up. I couldn't speak. My throat was cut. My throat was cut. I couldn't speak. My mouth was sewn up. I was prevented from speaking my spiritual truth. I spoke my spiritual truth, and they slit my throat, cut my head off. What's going on now? All the energy.
Fire.
Fire. I was burnt. I was burnt. They stitched up my mouth. I couldn't scream. I can still feel the fire. Asking my Akash and my body and all the multidimensional layers of my DNA to release this now. Releasing the feeling of the flames. Releasing the feeling that my mouth was stitched up and I couldn't speak or scream. Releasing all the feelings. All the way back to its origin. All the way back to the lifetime where they burnt me. So is this the Salem lifetime or another one? Back further. Even more ancient. This ancient lifetime where I spoke my truth, my spiritual truth, and I was burned alive for it.
They thought I was dead.
They thought you were dead?
They thought I was dead.
They thought I was dead. All this emotion. Keep tapping. All this emotion. I was following my spiritual truth. I was speaking my spiritual truth. And I was killed for it.
Put me in a box.
And they put me in a box.
They thought I was dead.
They thought I was dead. After they burned me and stitched my mouth.
I wasn't dead yet.
I wasn't dead yet. They put me in a box. And the multidimensional layers of my DNA still remember this. And I'm instructing my Akash and my DNA to release it and let it go. Instructing my Akash to process and release it all the way back to this ancient lifetime where I was put into a box. They thought I was dead. Where I died and suffocated in the dark. Releasing it and letting it go from the memory of the multi-dimensional layers of my DNA. all the way back to that lifetime. And any other lifetime where I pursued my spiritual truth.
Many times.
Many lifetimes. All those lifetimes. Processing and releasing them. Releasing it all the way back to all of those lifetimes. Many lifetimes. Where it wasn't safe and I was killed for pursuing my spiritual truth and standing in my truth. I release it and let it go now. Thank you, my guides and higher self, for leading me to this realization so that I can step through it and dissolve it, releasing it from my DNA, releasing it from my memory, from all of my memories, from the multidimensional layers of my DNA. Letting my body and my DNA know that I'm safe now. It's safe for me to step into my spiritual truth. As I release the trauma from every part of every cell. That trauma of stepping into my truth, my spirituality, when they buried me alive, thinking I was dead. Releasing it from every part of every cell. So take a deep breath. What's coming up now?
So many pattern after pattern of the same scenario.
Yeah, because we looked into the Salem one yesterday.
Salem.
So there was that very ancient one.
The very ancient one. Yeah.
Where they stitched up your mouth.
Yeah, that's new.
And burnt you and then buried you alive. They thought you were dead.
Well, because they killed me, right?
Mm.
But I wasn't dead yet. And they burn you. If you're not dead yet, you still feel, right?
Right. So they'll burn you in the box.
Burn you and then put you in a box.
Right.
Because they didn't wait for you all to burn away.
So as you say that now, is there any energy in your body?
Like I wasn't worth for them to wait for me to be completely dead.
Yep. So tap on that. Even though they didn't wait till I was completely dead.
Even though they didn't wait till I was completely dead.
Maybe they thought I was dead.
They thought I was dead.
They thought I was dead.
I wasn't dead yet.
But I wasn't dead yet. And there was no way I could show them I wasn't dead yet.
Couldn't say anything.
I couldn't say anything. My mouth was so shut. And I felt helpless. I accept myself and this memory in my DNA.
I accept myself and this memory in my DNA.
I thank my guides and higher self for showing me this helplessness.
I thank my higher guides and self for showing me this helplessness.
So I can process and release it.
So I can process and release it.
All the way back to its origin.
All the way back to its origin.
All those lifetimes of helplessness.
All those lifetimes in helplessness.
All the way back to the origin.
All the way back to the origin.
That ancient lifetime.
The ancient lifetime.
Where they burned me.
Where they burned me.
And put me in a box.
Put me in a box.
They thought I was dead.
Because I kept speaking the truth, so that's they.
Yep.
And they killed me.
I kept speaking the truth.
I kept speaking the truth.
So they shut my mouth.
So they shut my mouth.
And they killed me.
And they killed me.
And it feels unsafe still.
It kept repeating itself.
All those lifetimes.
And it...
Into this lifetime. Feeling unsafe to speak my truth. And I recognize this soul pattern, and I choose to release it and let it go, all the way back to its origin. Thanking my guides and higher self for showing me this soul level pattern so that I can dissolve it once and for all from my DNA. This soul level pattern. This soul level pattern where I spoke my truth and it was unsafe and I was killed for it. Releasing and letting go of this soul level pattern. Instructing my DNA.
Instructing my DNA.
All the multi-dimensional layers of my DNA.
All the multi-dimensional layers of my DNA.
Where my Akash is stored.
Where my Akash is stored.
All my lifetimes and memories.
All my lifetimes and memories.
Still contained in my DNA.
Still contained in my DNA.
And I instruct my DNA to process and release it now.
And I instruct my DNA to process it and release it now.
It no longer serves me.
It no longer serves me.
It was trying to protect me.
It was trying to protect me.
By screaming out to me, don't speak your truth in this life.
By screaming out to me, don't speak your truth in this life, or when you can't scream, then go ahead and scream. So the lives that I was allowed to speak, then I would just get into trouble. I wouldn't get killed because that wasn't the thing to do anymore, but I would get
in trouble because I spoke out.
Killed off, written out, let go, downsized.
All of the attributes of speaking out because I could.
All of the attributes about speaking out because I could.
I'm releasing them and letting them go.
I'm releasing them and letting them go.
And bringing peace to this issue.
And bringing peace to this issue.
It's safe for me to stand in my truth.
It's safe for me to stand in my truth.
Without screaming it out.
Without screaming it out.
I choose to use discernment.
I choose to use discernment
and wisdom.
And wisdom.
To speak my truth.
To speak my truth.
It's safe in the new energy.
It's safe in the new energy.
It's safe for me now.
It's safe for me now.
Sending this message of safety all the way back through all of those lifetimes.
Sending this message of safety all the way back through all the lifetimes, like even one life. So I decided to, like, okay, we're being attacked, so maybe if I join the attackers, I can keep it from happening. That was the druids. But it still didn't work. And they found me out. And it was killed anyway. That's the conflict story. I could feel the sword in the gut.
I could still feel the sword in the gut.
I could still feel the sword in the gut.
The conflict.
The conflict.
The crusades.
The crusades.
When I was a druid.
When I was really a druid.
And as I grew up.
As I grew up.
I became a soldier.
I became a soldier.
Who had to kill the druids.
Who had to kill the druids. But I thought I could turn it around. You know what I'm saying? Like double spy.
I thought I could turn it around.
I thought I could turn it around.
And it didn't work.
It didn't work.
I was killed.
I was killed.
All those lifetimes.
And all those lifetimes.
So many lifetimes.
So many lifetimes.
All those lifetimes.
All those lifetimes.
Where I spoke my truth.
Where I spoke my truth.
And I was killed for it.
And I was killed for it.
Where I had conflict.
Where I had conflict.
And I tried to stand up.
And I tried to stand up.
Against war.
Against war.
And I was still killed for it.
And against
oppression.
Yes. You knew what that
oppression.
meant. Against oppression.
When I stood up for it,
when I stood up for it, I was killed.
And I want to release and let go of that pattern.
And I want to release and let go of that pattern.
Throughout my soul lifetimes.
Throughout my soul lifetimes.
Seeing the higher learning and the lesson.
Seeing the higher learning and the lesson.
And releasing it.
And releasing it.
It no longer needs to apply in this life.
It no longer needs to apply in this life.
It's safe for me now.
It's safe for me now.
To stand in my truth.
To stand in my truth.
And to use my wisdom and discernment.
And to use my wisdom and discernment.
So I can speak my truth safely.
So I can speak my truth safely. Yeah, because sometimes I try to explain what I do or what I want to do, and there's a part of me that is saying, is it safe to say this to this person, or are they going to cut me off?
Mm-hmm.
Or cut me out, or has something to do with being cut.
Mm-hmm.
It's always, or shut me up, or
mm-hmm.
put me in a box, or
mm-hmm.
all that.
All these fears.
All that.
All those fears that relate to other lifetimes.
All those fears that relate to other lifetimes.
That had me fear speaking my truth.
That had me fear speaking my truth.
What if they cut me out?
What if they cut me out?
What if they shut me up?
What if they shut me up?
What if they shut me out?
What if they shut me out?
Thanking my DNA for showing me these patterns.
Thanking my DNA for showing me these patterns.
And I choose to step through them now.
And I choose to step through them now.
Instructing my DNA.
Instructing my DNA.
To process and release this now.
To process this and release this now.
I choose to step through this karmic pattern and lesson.
I choose to step through this karmic pattern and lesson.
And know that I'm safe in the new energy.
And know that I'm safe in the new energy.
It's safe for me to stand in my truth.
It's safe for me to stand in my truth.
And to speak it safely.
And to speak it safely.
How does that feel?
Mm. I feel more calm.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I like horror movies. I think. Because that's the part that likes to fight. So, go ahead.
Yeah.
Let me see it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind see. Go ahead. I dare you to scare me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. That's that defiant part of you. It's like, you just try.
Just try. Try to scare me.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
But yeah, I'm amazed I can speak.
Yeah, because at the start you couldn't.
Yeah, well, that's always been an issue. When I get upset, I can't. I'll either overdo it and come at you like
Fighting.
Braveheart, and you're gonna die. Before you kill me, I'm gonna kill you,
mm-hmm.
kind of attitude. Or I shut down. And I don't even want to be touched.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't say what is going through my head.
Mm.
It's like I could feel it.
Mm-hmm. That your mouth is shut. Mm.
Yeah, and I just can't say it. I can't even write it. I've tried writing it. My husband has had to wait and let me cry it all out. And then finally maybe get to maybe a portion of what was in my head.
Mm-hmm.
But
mm-hmm.
I could never say completely what was in my head.
Mm. And no wonder with all those lifetimes of a similar pattern.
Yeah.
So I want you to say out loud, it's safe for me to speak my truth.
It's safe for me to speak my truth.
So out of 10, how congruent is your body with that statement?
It's okay, but I feel it in my gut.
Okay.
I still feel like something stabbing me in my gut.
Okay. Even though
I
still have this sensation of being stabbed in the gut.
I still have this sensation of being stabbed in the gut.
From, what is that, the Druid lifetime, the crusade, where you were killed with the sword? Mm-hmm. I can still feel the sword in my gut.
I can still feel the sword in my gut.
I was trying to save the Druids.
I was trying to save the Druids by infiltrating the Crusades.
Mm-hmm. By infiltrating the Crusades, and they found me out.
And they found me out.
And I can still feel the pain of the sword in my gut.
Yeah. I could still feel the pain in the sword with my gut. Yeah. I was doing that Underground Railroad thing. But not during the Civil War of America. It was back then.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great idea.
Mm-hmm. It was a great idea, but it backfired.
Some people were saved, but not everyone.
Some people were saved,
but not everyone.
Not everyone. And I still feel the pain of the sword in my gut.
And I still feel the pain of the sword in my gut.
It was a good idea, but it didn't work.
It didn't work.
I accept myself.
I accept myself.
And I release that feeling that I can't have good ideas.
Mm-hmm. And I release that feeling that I can't have good ideas.
Releasing the sword in my gut.
Releasing the sword in my gut.
Thanking my guides and higher self.
Thanking my guides and higher self.
For showing me this lifetime.
For showing me this lifetime.
It's time to process and release it.
It's time to process and release it.
As I metaphorically pull that sword out of my gut.
As I metaphorically pull that sword out of my gut.
And know that it's safe now to have good ideas.
And know that it's safe now to have good ideas.
And they won't backfire on me this time.
They won't backfire on me this time.
This time with my highest intention.
This time with my highest intention.
I stand in my truth and speak my truth.
I stand in my truth and speak my truth.
And I'm safe to have good ideas.
And I'm safe to have good ideas.
As I move forward with my highest intention.
As I move forward with my highest intention.
For the highest purpose of me and humanity.
For the highest purpose of me and humanity.
Releasing all the pain from all my past lives.
Releasing all the pain from all my past lives.
That held me back.
That held me back.
That kept me small.
That kept me small.
It's safe for me to be in my power now.
It's safe for me to be in my power now.
It's safe for me to have good ideas.
It's safe for me to have good ideas.
It's safe for me to act on them.
It's safe for me to act on them.
It's safe for me to have wisdom.
It's safe for me to have wisdom.
It's safe for me to play big.
It's safe for me to play big. I'm being asked to play big.
It's safe for me to be visible now.
It's safe for me to be visible now.
I won't be killed for it this time.
I won't be killed for it this time.
This time I'll be rewarded for it.
This time I'll be rewarded for it.
And I'll do it in this life.
And I'll do it in this life.
In honor of all the other lives.
In honor of all the other lives.
Where I wasn't able to do it.
Where I wasn't able to do it.
It's time for me to stand in my truth and play big.
It's time for me to stand in my truth and play big.
Mm-hmm. So say out loud again, it's safe for me to stand in my truth.
It's safe for me to stand in my truth.
It's safe for me to speak my truth.
It's safe for me to speak my truth.
It's safe to have good ideas.
It's safe to have good ideas.
And to act on them.
And to act on them.
How's that sitting in you?
Well, it's safe to be videotaped. How does that sit on me? Okay, so I'm just a little bit nervous. I feel it in my hands.
Mm-hmm.
A little sweatiness,
Mm-hmm.
little sweaty feet.
Mm-hmm.
So things must be moving out.
Mm-hmm. Out of the extremities.
Yeah.
So even though there's some remaining sweatiness in my hands and feet.
Even though there's this remaining sweatiness and nervous jitteriness in
my hands and my feet.
Yeah.
When I look at that camera and
I look at that camera,
know I'm being videotaped.
I know I'm being videotaped.
I accept myself and all my reactions.
And I accept myself and all my reactions.
Thanking my body for processing the nervousness.
Thanking my body for processing the nervousness.
As it releases out of my body.
As it releases out of my body.
Out of my hands and out of my feet.
Out of my hands and out of my feet.
Out of releasing the jitteriness.
Releasing the jitteriness.
It is safe for me to play big.
It is safe for me to play big. And be videotaped.
And be videotaped. It is safe for me to speak my truth.
It is safe for me to speak my truth.
It is safe for me to be in my truth.
It is safe for me to be in my truth.
And to act it out.
And to act it out.
And to have good ideas.
And to have good ideas.
And to express them.
And to express them.
It's safe for me now.
It's safe for me now.
I stand in my truth and I speak it out.
I stand in my truth and I speak it out.
And it's safe for me to play big.
And it's safe for me to play big.
And be videoed.
And be videoed.
How does that feel? How's your hands and
good.
feet?
It feels good.
Yay.
Yay. No, it feels good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Look at all those places that went to.
Yeah.
And we started all of that with your personal session that you had yesterday.
Yeah.
With a lot of those. So it still was unravelling a lot of other different issues.
Yeah.
Layer upon layer.
Yeah. Layer upon layer.
Mm-hmm. Well done.
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.